Hi guys, welcome back to another Timeless Reading. This is filmed on Friday, January the 9th, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Game of Thrones Tarot card. This is the second time trying to film this because I was pulling the camera back trying to get a wider angle here and the camera fell. Oh, I cannot wait till I get that tripod out. So we're starting off with the Eight of Swords, and what I was talking about is like I was doing my vision board here, and I feel like when you gain confidence in yourself, in your faith, and I feel like this is all, you're going to feel very confident this year. They're like arrogant. It's not arrogance. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got to watch where that ego takes you, but I feel like you're gaining confidence. And I just saw, I think it's called learning, what's it called? Learning Manifestations? Something like that on IG. But they've got a lot of great videos like Soul Sisters, or Sisters Souls. I can't remember the names of all the channels that I follow, but you know, it's like sitting there, and I put like the menorah in the middle of the tree of life. So expanding our roots, expanding on things that we're already currently in. And I drew the Torah on there, the very tippy top. And I'm like, I don't know if I need to be doing that as much anymore. You know, I was like, that takes up a lot of my time. And I'm like, you know what? How much time do I spend scrolling? How much time do like last night I watched 2 movies. I only meant to watch 1 and I ended up watching 2. I finished a series. Did I watch 2? Finished the series. I watched Goodbye June. I think that's all I watched. I'm pretty sure that's the only 2 I watched. But sitting there, and I feel like that Eight of Swords where it's like that trapped. I don't feel like trapped energy. I feel like it's just be careful of that. You know what I mean? Because my heart of hearts, everybody says the year is 13 months. I feel like the Lunar New Year is the beginning of the calendar. I'll be 100%. I've been saying this for years. So, you know what I mean? That's where my soul is calling me. That's where my heart is calling me. But I feel like it's still like, by God's grace. And this is where it's just like where I'm like, oh, maybe I don't need to put so much time into that. I'm like, no. And they've immediately brought me back to 2016. They're like, remember when we took a break? And then we got back into it, and then there was the fight, and then Shane passed away. I'm like, we are not doing that again. That's like, you know, I may have a back and forth, but like literally today, watching Mass, and the priest is sitting there, and he's talking about like when, the gifts that they present to Jesus, because they're still in the Christmas celebration in the Catholic Church. And he's just like, you know, talking about like, when we go through circumstances, it's like our faith is building that bridge to get us back to where, you know, where we used to be, but better. You know what I mean? We're bigger, better, badder. You know what I mean? We've learned our lessons. We've gone through these, you know, trials and tribulations. You know, some people have grown with us. Some people we had to leave behind because, you know, unfortunately, when you go through certain journeys, people don't want to be around that. Oh my gosh, they're sad. Oh my gosh, how dare they cry? It's like, you have no idea until you go through that journey yourself. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it is what it is. But I feel like, you know, my faith, my devotion, my discipline is what built that bridge back to where we are today. So I'm not going to let that bridge crumble. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I know something is stirring me, like, you know, don't. And I'm like, no, doing it. I was like, I was going to light we got these beautiful pillars from Restore, which is Habitat for Humanity. And I'm like, I saw these ones on, I'll probably maybe still get them. I don't know. I was like, I want some sort of Shabbat candlestick or something like that. Like, I'm still going to light what I light, but I wanted that as well. And I found them. You know what I mean? And I was like, we were about to do Mass, so the candles you see here, we always light that on the day we do Mass, even in the summer. But, oh, look at that. Hanging on to something that we need to let go of. What's the other card? The Magician, because it's a part of us. It was already ingrained in us. I've always been drawn to faith since I was a young person. You know, obviously didn't have the best journey as a child, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's like, that's what, yes, my darling, that's what grew us into who we are. You know what I mean? It's like breaker of chains, because it didn't follow over, thank God, in the next generation. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we may be taking daggers and bullets and everything in our backs, but it's like, it's, you know what I mean? That's my sister and myself, and the only reason I say that's because as far as I know, my brother has no children, but it's like that did not carry over. It's like we refuse to let that carry over. You know what I mean? So I feel like with that Eight of Swords energy, it's like they're trying. We may feel like that stir crazy kind of energy, and that's like, you know, where I'm like, you know, I don't mind shoveling snow. That ice storm was just bonkers. That was, ugh. But that's why I feel like the two coins there is like bringing that balance there. Watching your balance too. I feel like some of us may come off of, you know what I mean, as we get older too, and we're going through pre-menopause and stuff like that. It's just like, watch that. You know, you might have to start taking that calm powder in your water. Takes down the cortisol levels in your body. But it's like taking care, and don't, I feel like it's also finding that care. Like, we've always sat there and poured ourselves into everybody else, and now, like, you know, who's ever presented in our lives is more independent. And it's like, now you can start filling your own cup. Like I was saying, like, with myself, you know, some people are like, oh, nail polish is toxic, blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what, I feel some sort of way when I sit there, and like right now it's warm, that I could take off my socks and I have my feet out, and it's like I look down and that doesn't look like freaking, you know, crusty dusty daggers. You know that scene in Jurassic Park where you have the raptor in the kitchen and it's like knocking its nail on the stainless steel? I don't know if it was the floor or the counter. It's like like that. I was like, get out of here. Because I have longer toenails. I'm like, leave me alone. I can put designs on them. What do I... But it's doing stuff for yourself. Simple, easy peasy. Tedious things. Like, some of people will go out and get their brows done. You know, zip zap, they do it. But me, I sit there and I brush them out. And I make sure everything's done. And then those little facial razor blades, I go over where I plucked, so that way it's nice and silky smooth. You know, then I go in with my lotions and potions. You know, help the wrinkles and crinkles, you know, part of life. But I feel like that's with the Two of Pentacles energy, with this Eight of Swords. It's like something's trying to throw you off course. And remember, it's like if January is a longer month, some people feel it's like it felt last year definitely. I feel like, again, it's like because you've learned things. So because you're older, you're wiser, it's like we're sitting there, instead of putting all of our energy into fear, wasting our energy, it's like, oh my gosh, I have all this energy. Yeah, because you're not wasting. I even tell my kids the same thing. Stop putting your energy into toxic things. It doesn't affect your beautiful life. Leave it alone. It's just draining you. You're putting your energy into things that you don't need to be putting your energy into. You'll be a lot happier for it. The Ace of Swords, and that's why I'm bringing this up. I was like, well, should I share this? And it's like, yeah, share it, because a lot of us are going, like, look at that block, that wall. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be a non-penetrating wall. You know what I mean? And the dragons came and just, it was like nothing. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, this is what they're trying to do. It's like they're trying to sit there and put a block because they know what's coming. All this noise gets louder when something is coming down the line. They don't want you to get over there. You know what I mean? And it's like, you got to keep to your devotion. You got to, you know, they talk about that in the spiritual books, that they throw seeds and it's like amongst the rocks, and a little wind comes and it blows them away. You know? Because a lot of us have stuff that we've gone through in our childhood and our teenage years, our young adulthood, or like myself, where it's just like an untimely, it was like, you know, I talked to my girlfriend about this, and it's like, we both planned, you know, when we had children with these individuals, that was our life. That was it. You know what I mean? And we were growing these children together, you know, making plans for when they get older, you know? And I feel like that's what, you know what I mean? It's like, now we're trying to make those plans happen. It's, you know, a little bit more difficult, but it's like we're fighting our footing. We're fighting our confidence again. We lost our confidence because of everything we went through. That does not define us. So you may have gone through something in your life and it's like, it freaking sucks. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but it is a choice to sit there and turn the page. And if it's someone that is past divorce, bereavement, whatever it is, it's like, you know what? I'm thankful. You know, I always tell the kids, be thankful for the time we got with him. That's all we can be thankful for. I'm thankful that he was a part of our lives. I'm thankful he's a father of our children. Move forward. And I feel like this is where the Devil card is like, we need to sit there and put that thing into perspective. You may not have gone through a depression or, like, you know what I mean? It's not saying that we don't miss them, but I usually would get into this funk with Shane's birthday, then my dad's birthday, and then it's Christmas. Both of their favorite holiday. And it's just like, you feel a certain way. And it's just like, It wasn't present this year. Thank God. You know what I mean? And because I felt something change. And I'm like, well, that's a blessing because, it was draining, and then you have everyday life to deal with on top of that. It's just, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, because it's no problem being more confident and sure of yourself and not wasting your energy on things. But watch that though. You know what I mean? Because that if there's something in here, people, places, things, addictions, whatever it is, they're trying to sneak up in here and take you off of your path. You're just being you. They want you to change you because, they don't like it. And it's like, that's not your problem. They don't like what you do, then, what is it that of yourself that you don't like? It's like anytime they attack you, it's because something in themselves is something they don't like. And they're taking it on you because they want to change you. They want to stir you. They want you to feel how they feel. And I know it's hard not to react. Try not to react around them because that's what they want. React at home. Go off at home. But like I was trying to say before, I dropped the camera before, but it's like the Page of Cups. This was in reverse. Like keeping it 100. For me, it's like dumping it out. You know what I mean? I feel like what was like clawing, it's trying to keep itself clawed into you. So what is trying to stay ingrained in you is not a part of you. It's part of the journey that you went through. And they're like, oh my gosh, they're on the other side of this. But we're trying to pull you back before this whole, the horse energy of Chinese Lunar New Year comes in. Forward movement. And this is part of the forward movement. You know what I mean? What got you here? Do not leave that behind because that's what built you up. That is your soul. That is your spirit. That is the Magician card. Your grounding energy. Red grounding energy. It is already ingrained in you. The cups, the pentacles, the swords, the wands. If I missed one, I apologize. But they're all a part of you already. You know what I mean? And I feel like even when I was younger, I used to write down passages. I got this red and black book cover. It was a hardcover, 9 pages inside, and I would sit there and I read the children's Bible. It was a yellow book with this beautiful gold cursive writing on the it said the Bible children's stories, and it was picture stories. And I remember reading. I actually went on Amazon looking for it to see if I could buy it for my kids, but it's like things in there spoke to me, and I wrote them down. And someone came. I know who did it. Ripped all the pages out of it. I was so devastated. I was like, that book was almost full. I was just like, it's just, that's what I mean. People will sit there because they don't have the devotion and dedication. They put it into other things. That's fine. You know what I mean? That's their life. But I'm not going to sit there and change who I am because you don't understand the journey I'm on. Sometimes it's like, thank fuck that you didn't have to go through that journey. You know what I mean? Some people make their own problems. 5 of Swords. It's like you don't have to, like, there's a certain situation, it's like where I could verbally be immature and attack and be stupid. It's like, but that's going to affect me and the people that I care about. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, nope. Let go and let God. They were talking about, the best revenge. Don't take revenge. King of Cups. You need to pour into your own cup. This is what I was talking about. People are more independent now. People don't rely on you so much on every second of a basis. Like, when your kids are toddlers. You make sure they're entertained. You make sure that they have their breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. You know what I mean? You make sure that they're taken care of. You make sure that they're good. You make sure that they're happy, healthy. Everything's going the way that it should be. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, there are some tedious, like, I feel like it's tedious, but I put on music and I do it anyway. You know what I mean? Or it's like cleaning or something like that, like the bathroom. Like, I sat there and I was like, ugh, this is going to annoy me. It's almost Shabbat. Let me deal with this. You know what I mean? So it's just like tedious things that we, but it's like you feel better. Like with me, I feel better afterwards because now it's like, it's done. Something that I've been trying to get done, now it's done. It's off my list. You know what I mean? But it's just like, that's what the list used to bug me so bad. And I'm just like, you know what? We will get to that list when we get to that list. 6 of Coins. And I feel like, maybe building a better relationship with financially and giving where you can. Like, you don't have to feel like you have to give every cent and coin. You know what I mean? Like, God bless, they were doing the drive at Sobeys. And I'm like, well, I got to be smart. I got to make sure we got, and I'm like, we're good. Just sit there, and do that. And then sure enough, it was just like we were fine. You know what I mean? By God's grace, God blessed someone's hand and they blessed ours. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is what I mean. This Nine of Swords energy, this entrapment. You know what I mean? Don't allow the Devil card in reverse, the Eight of Swords. Make the choice. Two of Coins. Everyone thinks it's about money and all this stuff, but it's like, yeah, sometimes it is about money. We were just talking about that with the Six of Coins, like, financial endeavors. But be mindful of that. Like, you know what I mean? January, February are the colder. We're in Canada. You know what I mean? The cold seasons. And you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like we're ahead though. Like I said, that flower that I have, this purple flower I have that's supposed to be full bloom by Passover, is almost like the flower's starting to come up now. And I feel like this cold that we're in now is supposed to be February. So I'm like, ooh, are we going to get an early spring? Which I'm not angry about. You know what I mean? But I feel like that kind of energy. But I feel like this entrapment. I feel like I'm telling you, you are moving towards something that you have no idea. It's like that post that I was talking about. Sorry. It's like your future self is encouraging. It's like you have no idea what's coming. It's like, do it, do it, do it. Like, you know what I mean? You're being called to do something in a positive way. But it's just like, do it when you're ready. Like, make the steps, do the you know what I mean? Like, with myself, I'm like kind of planning it out. You know what I mean? I know one of the things is to get my tripod out of there. I have to get on that because this one won't do the job. But you know what I mean? It's just like sitting there and it's like grounding yourself, that Two of Pentacles energy. It's, where they're kind of like, wobbling back and forth on the feet. And it's just like, sit there and ground yourself in simple things right now. You know what I mean? Where it's just like doing simple things for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, just because it's the winter doesn't mean you don't have to do your nails or anything like that. Like, I know I want to scrub the crap out of my bathroom, so I haven't done my fingernail. Well, I did do my fingernails. The gel came off as quickly as it came on. It's just like, but it looked pretty while it was on. They're trying to show you something here. The light of the situation. Crow. That's a minor message. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I wasn't going to share this, but I was like, I'm really, you know what I mean? I was like, should I do this? Should I still continue to, to be devoted to, do my, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, maybe put the passages that I write, like put that up, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's been really speaking to me. Like where I sat there and I was like, oh, should I still read the Torah and stuff? And it's like, when you were thirsty, we provided you drink. When you needed clothes, we provided you clothes. And it's like, right. When I needed help in this journey, when I was crying my eyes out and I didn't know what I was going to do, I didn't know how I was going to take care of my kids. Like, I didn't know anything. And it's like, watching Tribal Trails, watching Mass for Shut-ins, you know what I mean? Sitting there and finding the Hebrew faith, because it's like reading the Catholic Bible and it's just like, walk as Jesus walked. I'm like, well, he was a Hebrew, so why am I reading the Catholic Bible? And I was always drawn, since 2009, I was drawn to read the Torah. And I'm like, I asked for it from someone that was of the faith, and I was just like, can you do me a favor and, get me one? But of course it was in Hebrew. Like, the English version, but it is what it is. But so it's 2018. It's just it's like, don't let things shake you off your path, and I feel like that's what's trying to happen right now, is trying to shake you off your path, because they're going to be guiding you through this. They don't want you to have that source of whatever it is that you put your heart and soul into, like what is calling you. The Hierophant. So the moon, so we just came out of the full moon, but like the moon door, like it's a sentence where you go, see, this is what I mean. It's like, I feel like it's because I feel like it's voting a tower moment to be 100%. Like, I feel like it's little rumblings of things, and it's like, I feel like that right now is guiding you, because it's like, remember what you've learned. You know what I mean? Where this situation where this person is trying to provoke me, and just because of their jealousy, and it's like, no. I'm not getting into that. I'm going to continue doing what I do. I'm just going to take a step back, you know what I mean? And that's it. I'm like, I'm not putting my energy into this. I'm not going to let you affect me mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, away with you. This is what I'm saying. Because you've learned. You don't give your energy away so freely. Because this ain't a giving thing. This ain't a free flowing of 2 cups. You know what I mean? It's only take on their end. You keep pouring and they keep... You know what I mean? With the Page of Cups, where they're showing they poured the water out, because like that's how arrogant they are. You fill their cup and they're like, nah. They poured. It took you so hard to fill up that cup. Narcissism is what they're saying. It took you so much to fill up that cup, and they're just like, eh. It's like Wentworth, where Jax kept on playing with B. She's like, I didn't tell you how I took it, and then she told her. She went back and made her another cup. She's like, oh, there's not enough water. She put more water in. She goes, no, it's too full. She kept provoking her and provoking her. And then she told her to go get her own effing damn tea. This is the Hierophant. Let higher self guide you right now. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. It's just like they're trying to knock you off the path right now. People are trying to provoke you, trying to knock you off your path. And this is where you need to sit there and let your roots go deeper. Don't waste your energy on things, because it's like people, they want to know what your secret sauce is. They want to know why you do what you do, because that's who you are. You don't have to explain that to nobody. They're just like, oh, how come this? How come that? It's none of your business. I come in and I do it. Am I doing what you ask of me? Yes, and then some. Okay, so just leave it at that. 7 of coins. You're about to see these little seedlings that you've been planting for a while start to bloom. And I feel like that's why they're saying, let spirit or whoever guide you. You got finances coming in here. You know, everybody's heading in towards tax season. So finances coming in, and that's like, keep it quiet. I feel like there'll be a little extra there. A little extra, something there. Lovers. So this could be, I'm just trying to hurry up here because it's getting a little long in the time. But it's like, this could be someone new coming into your life that's like they said, it's the 2 cups there. They're not pouring equally. It's like someone's going to come in and be that equal with the Lovers. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship, but this is why they're trying to knock you off of this. They're trying to sit there and bring in a tower moment here, and it's like, this is why you need to stand in your truth. Right? More than ever, stand in your truth. Because as soon as that Lunar New Year happens, you're going to see how everything explodes. But if you're able to sit there and start doing things, do it beforehand. You know what I mean? And watch your For You page. What are they trying to tell you? What are they trying to bring into you? I'm telling you. You're being pushed to go towards what your heart is calling you towards, and they're trying to knock you that out away from you. And they're bringing in people that you thought had your back. Like they said, 2 cups in reverse. Literally with the Page of Cups, they're dumping the water. You work so hard to pour that cup. And they're like, eh. It's like, okay, enjoy. Now you can fill it by yourself. You sit there and you protect your energy. You be your defender. Especially, like I said, I didn't have an easy childhood, but be that defender of that child in you. It's like, it's provoking you in that childhood. And it's like, well, I'm not that little child anymore, and I will frickin' fight tooth and nail to protect it. Protect your peace. Because, look how easily it was taken away before, because people were able to manipulate that energy. Don't allow it to happen again. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.